Hey guys, this is your girl La, and welcome to another episode of Whatever You Say podcast. If you're tuned in today, that must mean that you're open-minded and you're open for perspective and deep conversations. So listen, buckle up and stay tuned. It's Whatever You Say. Let's go. It's whatever you say. Hey guys. Welcome to another episode of Whatever You Say. This is your girl La. Listen, Happy New Year. This is my first show that I'm doing for the new year. And we have a special guest on the show. I'm super excited about this. But hold up, before we get started, you already know what time it is. We have to go on Whatever You Say Facebook like page, and we have to go on YouTube. But we have to share this. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Listen, y'all already know what time it is. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to the like page, or I'm going to my YouTube. It's whatever. And we are going to share this. All right, here we go. Ay. So I hope everybody has been having a wonderful day, a wonderful couple of weeks. Actually, I took a little break. Normally, I would start at the beginning of the year, but I just felt like just for myself, I needed this time. I needed to just, give back to me. And see what it is and how I wanted to move for the new year, instead of just jumping into another show. So I do appreciate the patience of everyone just waiting on me in this time. We're having some technical difficulties with the Facebook page right now, but it's all good. So I'm just posting it up right now, the link for the YouTube. But the show must go on. Here we go. All right, almost done here, guys. And listen, I'm still, like I told y'all, I'm still looking for an assistant. So that door is still open. So like I said, we have a great show. Show is called Plant Powered Prosperity. And we have a great guest on the show today. And I just wanted to, I have my notes here. So I wrote something really nice about her. Okay, so I want y'all to help me to please welcome Rashina Burrows, a trailblazer in the vegan community and a founder of Blueberry Vegan Cafe, the Zucchini Bar, Aquafit Gym Water Bar, Plants and Poets Cafe, and Magic Cones Plant Ice Cream. Rashina's dedication to promoting a plant-based lifestyle and providing health options in undeserved communities has made her a leader in the industry. She is also a host of Free Thinkers podcast, woohoo, and passionate advocate for victims of gun violence. Joining us today is not only an accomplished entrepreneur, but also a source of inspiration to many. Let's give a warm welcome to Rashina Burrows. Hey, woo! How are you, Queen?
I'm good, La. How are you today? Thank you so much for having me.
I'm a little nervous. Like, you know what? It's only certain people that come on the show where I get nervous, and it's a good thing when I'm nervous. It keeps me humble. I almost forgot my intro for real, and
Oh,
I'm just very excited. When I'm excited, I get pretty nervous, and I have good reasons to be excited. We got some people chiming in, and they have some things to say. But before I let them say their thing, I'm gonna give you the floor so you can let us know about yourself.
all
Let's.
right. Well, my name is Rashina Burrows. Most people call me Shino. I am the founder of the Organic Life Wellness Cell Food USA, under the umbrellas of all the cafes that you mentioned. I am also a mother. I'm an artist, a writer, poetess, chef, and mainly I'm just a conduit, here doing all the things that I was born to do.
Yes, and you sure are. And listen, I went and did my research on you, and I said, "Oh my goodness, I better know who I have on this show." Like I do Plants and Poets, and shout out to Shalel who told me about you on his
Yeah,
interview. So guys, like go to the page, check out Shalel. You
yeah,
can't there.
absolutely. That's my
Um,
home.
Yes, he's such an inspiration. His book was really good. I finished it
Yes.
like in a few weeks actually, and I was making sure that I just gave my intake on each chapter, and it was very
Yeah.
inspirational, especially coming from someone from my stomping grounds in
Yeah.
so I appreciate the brother. And he told me about you on that show, and I remembered your name. And then when I came to Plants and Poets, and he's like, I think you might want to meet her. And I was nervous then. I'm sitting here like, huh.
Oh wow, no, it's all good.
It's like just walking up to people is not my thing, but I'm getting very comfortable with doing so. And when I met you, it just was a breath of fresh air. I was like, oh my goodness, we must be from the same tribe. So
Yeah, I appreciate that, and it felt the same way meeting you. Yeah, peace out to Shalel. That's my homie for real. The one thing I loved about his book was I didn't finish it yet, but the one thing I loved about his book is how he, in each chapter, he intertwined the struggle and the solution at the same time. So I
that
thought that was really dope. Yeah, that was really dope the way he did that.
it made me question
Yeah,
myself.
but
Me question myself. Like I know that I'm walking in my divine purpose, but it's nice. Like I always look at men as being the leaders, like women, we are leaders as well. But I also I like taking advice from men, upstanding men, and I see him to be one. So to read that book and it
yeah.
made me question myself, especially as like how I want my son to be growing up. So it was just
Mhm.
really, really good book so far.
Absolutely.
But enough about him. Let's talk more about you. More
All
about
right, let's
Um,
go.
let's get these questions. Let's go. Can you tell us about your personal journey towards becoming vegan and how it has influenced your business ventures?
Okay, so my personal journey, I guess, began from birth. You know, I haven't eaten meat my entire life.
Mm,
So it began there when it came to the vegan lifestyle, I guess, because back then it wasn't even called vegan. I never even heard that word until the maybe late 90s, early 2000s. So I guess my journey began there because, you know, not eating meat caused me to, I guess, educate myself different, to always read, you know, go dig deeper into things, dig deeper into nutrition, dig deeper into herbs and plants and flowers. You know, I do believe that the plant based journey for me is of a spiritual one. I think it's a part of my birth path here, like what I'm supposed to do here.
mm,
I look at, you know, how I started as a baby to where I am now. It had to be divine, you know, always being that weird extra kid that didn't eat meat, or didn't consume certain things, or I didn't believe in harming animals at a very young age either, and I still don't. So there you are. And I still don't. So, so I believe that spiritually I came here to do that, especially like never having a desire to have a burger, to have shrimp, lobster, any of those things. So yeah, so it began for me, I guess, when I came to this space.
wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. A lot of us can't say that. Like from you, okay, I want to add a question on top of this question because we just gonna let it flow. But from you, um, learning this from birth or being brought into this world not eating meat, do you look at people who eat meat differently? Does it cause you to judge them in a sense?
Absolutely not. Now, one thing I would say is that, I think by me not eating meat, allow me to be more of an observer of life, even from a young lady. So I was here more, I observe people more than I would judge them. You understand? Habits, behaviors, different things. So what was for me, I knew it was for me. My only advocation at the time was don't eat the animals. It wasn't about veganism. It wasn't about, oh, I'm plant-based, because I didn't even have those terms growing up. You know what I mean? It was just like everybody around me ate meat. My mother, my father, everybody, my brothers, sisters, so you know, not I didn't judge people for not eating meat, because I just was observing, trying to figure out what's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Like I never had a desire for it. My mother said I couldn't even drink like Similac or anything like that. They had to give me something called Soylac.
Wow.
And this was back in the 70s. Yeah. So yeah, I just never had a desire for it. And then dairy, any type of dairy made my stomach hurt if I did consume any type of dairy. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
So with you observing the behaviors, do you believe that the meat that they were eating caused these certain type of behaviors?
Yes, I do. I do, and again, it's not being judgmental. It's because
Right.
I observed it. I'm number 7 of 8 children, and I've had brothers and sisters older than me. I've had people around me. I've had friends. I feel like I can't say that people are negative because they eat meat. That's not what I mean by what I'm saying. But um, I don't know how to describe what I'm saying without making it sound
No,
judgy.
I get
However,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say it like that, but I think the behaviors when you eat carcass or you eat death would make you behave a little bit different. You will vibrate a little. Your frequency is definitely going to be different, whether you're a good person, bad person, or however it goes. Like I know for myself, again, in observing myself, I know that I've been like a conduit. I've been on this very spiritual path from a very little girl because I was more clear. I didn't have dead carcass in my body. So I was able to receive information and be a certain way despite all the circumstances that were around me, and everybody that was around me ate meat. So I don't think that was their reason why for all of their behavior, but I just know what for me, I was just able to be tuned in and on a different frequency my entire life.
Mm. And I believe that that was like your divine purpose, because it's like, how can you be in a household of people that eat meat and you're the only one that's not eating it? It
Yeah, I mean, it was cool because my mom was pretty great. So like
happened.
she could make me, and she was a really, really great cook. So she would make me spaghetti with just the onions, peppers, sauce, and it would still be really delicious. So I didn't miss it. So I never really felt separated. I never had to be separated, especially at home.
Right.
So
I love
yeah.
that. I love that. And speaking of like your mom being a good cook and making it still taste good, like I went to Plants and Poets, and the meal that I got, what was it? The Bob Marley or the Lauren Hill?
Oh, the Bob Marley.
Girl, oh my gosh. It tastes like it's something straight out of a Caribbean restaurant. I went home and I said, I'm eliminating some things out of my diet. Need it. Like, and
Yeah.
my mindset is not a need. So it's days that my son and I will go meatless. Like
Oh,
I'm not a beef eater, so to speak. I have eaten beef before, but I went years without it because I just know that it clogs your arteries. There's a lot to it. So I was like, okay, fish and chicken. But there's days now, my son and I, like I've been inspired since leaving Plants and Poets to want to create meals that were meatless. And I
yeah,
really
that's good.
thank you for that, because I'm like, I was talking to my friends on the phone. I said, you can't even tell, like these mushrooms are like the substitute. I remember going vegan before, and it just brought me back to that love. And I'm like, slowly but surely, I'm building back up into that space, because my son, he really doesn't care for me anyway. So
Mm.
it's like, let me get him back into that space. I've been working with him towards making like homemade gummies out of agar, just like taking
Yeah,
natural approaches in life. So I do appreciate your walk and what you're doing for the communities, especially the urban
thank
communities.
you. Thank you. And it warms my soul that, I inspired you to do that because that's my only ever goal in life is to just inspire, in a good way. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. And your son's generation, they're coming here. They're on a whole nother frequency. So more of them will be plant based, like the generation. I don't know how old your son is. I should.
3. Mm-hmm.
3? Oh, definitely. And the middle ones and the ones that's like right now, the 11, 12, the little young teenagers, a lot of them are plant based. So and naturally, just naturally. So even I used to be like that only person saying, "Oh, I never ate meat," but over the last years, I hear that so much. My daughter won't eat meat. My son won't even touch it. My daughter's vegan. My son's vegan. So I hear it more now. I really watch the world change.
Especially when they're cloning the animals, and there's just so much, and how the animals die, is putting trauma into us. So it's just so much we could speak on how meat can affect us. I mean, I look at people that are younger than me, how old they're looking, and it's just, I see how it's affecting people's bodies and souls at the same time. And I just pray for because listen, we're melanated. We're not supposed to be, like we're not supposed to be dying off that soon. And, so let's get back to our natural habitat, people.
Yes.
Off of God's earth.
And for the animals, they are our ecosystem.
Yeah.
They are a part of what makes the world go round, and they are a part of our natural food chain. So if you don't have any more animals and you don't have any more to fertilize the land, you're going to be in processed, lab grown, hybridized everything. You know what I mean? So you have to think about your body when you consume, when you put something to your mouth, you have to understand the chemical balance of what it's doing. It's a chemical conversion that happens. So if someone can tell me what's the benefit of the conversion when they eat something that's dead, and you don't know how long it's been dead.
Wow.
How long ago did you kill it? When was it shipped? When was it packaged? When was it put on on the assembly line, or to be sold and then packaged in your supermarket and sold to you? You have no idea how old that carcass was, and you consume that. So what are you doing to your little tiny liver and your organs and your digestive system? What does that mean to your body when you put something that's been dead for a long time into it? When you are a live human being, we're attached to this universe and this earth. You should be eating live foods that come from the earth.
And I feel so bad when you say the word caucus.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, Queen. You're good. But we need to hear that word. We need to hear that word so it can scare us into doing it. Like I'm saying, like I really ate caucus. Like I'm saying, like somebody else. No, we need to be scared into like some type of submission. It's a good health, like serious. If I'm not scared, I'd rather be scared. Keep saying caucus. I'll be like, listen, we got some chiming in that's showing some love. I was a little fast, but I'm gonna let it go back. We got Shalel. He said, let's go.
Okay.
1515 media. He said my notification was on. Stefan. We got them exclamation points. We got Eric Johnson, Jersey in the house. Okay, we got Dale, excited.
Hey, Miss Dale.
Anthony as well. Cooking with Carrie and Kay, Bestie's Cook Off. Listen, they are up in here. Let's go. All right.
Okay.
Up, Alan.
Watson. That's the husband.
Aw, shout out to your husband. Got Shakira. All right.
Hey, Shakira.
Cousin from Saint.
My cousin from St. Thomas, Kelly. She tuned in all the way from St. Thomas. Wait, let me just say something to Kelly real quick. So Kelly could tell you when we were little, right? I would be at the table in the summertime. We was at my grandmother's house, and some people when you're at the house, they make you want to eat it. So I would either just do like this, put it in a napkin, and ball it up. And I used to give it to the cat. And so the cat started coming by me every time and kind of gave me away, but she remembers that.
Thank you for chiming in, cousin. We got Kimberly, very proud of you. Much love.
Hey, cousin. All my family in the building.
Yes.
Hey, Vanessa. Wow, let's go.
We got Mary.
Who is that? Hey, Mary. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my peeps. I got chills. My peeps in the building. These are my real peeps. This is my family. Hey, Dale. I love you too.
And we got something from Shakira. She said, yes, the food is amazing at all her restaurants. Plants and Poets, Zucchini Bar, Blueberry Cafe, Aquafit, and that ice cream at Magic Cone. So delicious. Like, she's like, I'm in love.
That's my girl.
And then
Yeah.
Alexis Scott said, yes, Rashina and her
Hey,
example of undeserved population. Just imagine if you are what you eat, then how y'all living. Mm-mm.
ooh.
I like that. Are what you eat and
Yeah.
how you live, and listen, how these people are coming through for you. It sets a tone. It sets a tone. How you choose
Thank
to
you.
live your life, and is a prime example in what you're doing in other people's lives. So I commend you, and I
Thank
always
you. I appreciate that.
and I listen. We're part of the same family now, so I'm excited about
Oh yeah,
bringing my son next time we come to Jersey. I have to
absolutely.
stop by, get some ice cream, and get something to eat too.
Yeah, and I will be using your marketing services.
Period.
Absolutely, guys. I'm excited for that.
I'm excited too. What
Yeah.
inspired you to start multiple vegan businesses, and how do they complement each other? Well, we know that they're all complementing each other in that space.
So, so I think I would say my oldest son. I had told him about a restaurant that I wanted to do when we lived in PA called Cafe Seven, but it was just like a little thing I drew out, wrote out, and I was still doing hair at the time, so I didn't really like put it to real thought or manifestation. But I would always keep coming up with these ideas about it, and then I was like, just put it aside. And he was saying like you should do the cafe,
Mm,
and I would always, every now and then cook for some of my clients, so a vegan dish or two. A few times
mhm.
I had smoothie day, juice bar day, but mainly when I did hair, I would always tell my clients that your hair grows from within. So it's about what you're putting into your body, and I made sure I use very good products. The products that we use came out of real calabashes straight from Africa.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just like we really took care. We did hair care, and so so from there, that's what inspired me to move forward, retire from hair, and then go into the next logical step. I felt like with hair, I felt like my clients were at a certain point where they understood how to take care of their hair. Then
Nice.
I met a sister who created a product that was really growing people's hair back and repairing the damage and getting in the 7 layers. And it was made at nanomolecules. So I was like, okay, they good. So I decided to move on with, my next career. And that was to give the food that the people need to make their hair grow.
Mm,
Now let's do the next step, And, I could not toot my own horn, but I can really cook, So I have recipes that I haven't even done yet. I'm always making up new stuff. Like if I'm in the kitchen, it's something new coming like every day. It just never ends. And, so the community needed it. So we were doing hair in Newark. I came to Newark in 2013 with the all natural hair care salon. It was a number 2 to 1 in Irvington. So when I came there, that's when I knew I was ready to retire. A space became available next door to the hair salon. And then boom, it was like, time to do the cafe. And we put that, so then we decided to open up Blueberry Cafe. And I met my partner Janice from doing a workshop in the hair salon. So it just all worked out very well. Mhm.
wow. And still connected.
So now Blueberry Cafe was the first of the cafes. How Zucchini Bar came about is because we had these really delicious zucchini muffins that were like out of here, and people were coming for them all the time, and we didn't really have the space to store them. As the young lady was making them, we didn't
Wow.
have the room. The
Mm-hmm.
space came available. I mean, well, no, I knew I was going to retire and not do hair no more. So I turned the hair salon into a dessert bar called the Zucchini Bar, hence the zucchini muffins. So even in Blueberry, when we first opened up, we put the filtrations in there because we were not going to cook with tap water. We wanted to make sure we had clean filtered water. So we would share the information about the water, and we allowed people to come fill up their jugs. But it's a small cafe, so we couldn't have people keep coming to fill up their jugs. So she opened up a water bar. So that's how each one became out of a need for the other at the time. And in Blueberry Cafe, I actually met my husband in, through him coming to Blueberry Cafe. So, when we were, friends at the time, he does fitness, he trains NBA players, he does training and all that good stuff. So it was like, hey, let's do that together. Let's combine the water and the fitness. That's full spectrum of
Right.
everything that one would need to take care of your body on the outside and the inside.
Right.
And then magic cones came about because my staff, I have one of the most amazing set of people, partners, staff, friends, family, support, and I say family that works together with me. So I decided a space was available next to Zucchini Bar. So I took that space for my staff and I created magic homes for them. So
Wow.
that way they can start a business, have their own business for themselves and, see how that goes. But it was my magic homes was my gift to my staff. So that's really for the staff.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And then plants and poke, yeah.
And
What'd you say?
I said, you just like kept going. It's like you just keep,
Yeah.
is it overwhelming?
No, not when I'm able to continue to create.
Oh,
No, not when I'm able to continue to create. Right now I feel like we're at a point where we are reinventing ourselves right now. We've been a certain way for a certain amount of years, and it's time for us to grow. It's time for us to expand. So there's going to be some major changes that people see coming up in the next few weeks. So but that's just a part of us growing and expanding. Some people may say, "Hey, oh, they took that away," but yeah, we took that away because now we bringing something even better, to the situation. But so yeah, so that's pretty much how they all came about and complemented each other. Plants and Poets Cafe. I actually won a bid for the space on Clinton Avenue with Invest Newark, and that was amazing. So they did the whole build out, and now Plants and Poets Inspiration is that allows the artist side of me to come out. Plants and Poets Cafe, hence the name,
right.
is for artists. It is for poetry and it's for art. I love art, music, poetry. There's a theater in the back of it called Black Box, owned by John Murray, and all types of creative activities happen in that space. So it's just like I get to fulfill that part of myself through Plants and Poets.
That's beautiful. That is so
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh my gosh. Let me open up like a store so my husband come walking in the door. I love that for you. It's just like it's
Yeah,
so dreamy. It's like when you walk in, and I always say that, and I tell young ladies as well that when you're walking in your purpose, things will align. Sometimes we find ourselves as human beings, we're like got our eyes open and we're looking for things, but it's just like it comes as long
hmm
as you're walking in. You're gonna meet somebody that's on their purpose, and then your purpose can like come
yeah.
together. So that is so
This
beautiful.
is true. Even if some of those purposes are just for seasons, they're
Yeah.
all just stepping. You get it's like a video game life. You just like hop to the next level, hop to the next level. But I think one of the greatest things that right now that satisfies me in this lifetime is that I was able to see my path as I was going on, even when it looks like it wasn't going well. It just always just aligned. If I needed a certain book, it just fell in my lap. If I needed a certain person, they just showed up. You know, when you don't worry, things just show up and it just takes you on that journey. So
That
yeah, so that's one of my greatest appreciations, and I would say my greatest accomplishment is staying true to the path. Staying true to every gift that I was born with. You know what I'm saying? And utilizing them because now I'm totally connected to God. I'm totally connected to Source because I'm not doing anything that's outside of myself
mm.
or my ability. Yeah.
And I like how you
Yeah.
were able to connect those things too, how one thing went into the next. Like I was just having a talk with one of my mentors, and she was saying that about overwhelming yourself. She's like, you seem like a mini me, you're doing so much, but it's not too much to me because like one thing is connected to the other thing in some kind of way. And I'm still doing what I love. So it doesn't feel overwhelming because it's still what I know what to do best, and I'm not overwhelming myself.
Right.
I'll give myself time on my calendar. Is important that I give myself time
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
burning myself out.
hmm
That's so inspirational. And when you're saying that it's just confirmation for me to just, keep doing what I'm doing is never too much, like it's never too much. And then you're creating opportunities for other people. And that's the beautiful thing about it as well. I just love that. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of people chiming in. Let's see what we have here. Somebody said no like eggs. Casey, your cousin.
No like eggs. Yeah, they used to tease me because I used to say that as a baby. That's Kelly.
But this said that you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And she said she started doing education workshops on food, water, deodorants. Yeah, I was just talking about that recently. Shout out to a guy named Paul I'm acquainted with. He was just talking about deodorants. He was saying using the antiperspirants is unhealthy because this is a space where you're supposed to be perspiring and letting out those toxins. It's like a gateway to release those toxins. And while we're like sitting here trying to block those, it's going to cause our skin to break out, amongst other number of things. So, yeah, it's so crazy that everything's coming together.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I've never wore deodorant. My daughter never wore deodorant. My daughter's, I mean, I don't know if she wear deodorant now, but as long as she was growing up in her early young 20s, she never wore deodorant either. I never told her, I never gave her deodorant to wear, and I think, again, what you eat, as Alexa said, what you eat, is what you look like, what you are, what you smell like, so that's important. And with what Vanessa's talking about, that had to be like 2003, 4, 5, something like that. We were teaching workshops and my sister would show people how to make deodorant and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Shakira said she's the first person to get me to eat mushrooms too.
Yeah, Shakira's picky.
Ploy said the food is amazing.
Thank you, Patty.
All right.
People really out here.
Yeah, they are. Listen, it's a lot of people chimed in right now. I don't know if you see the numbers, but it's a lot of people chimed in.
I can't see them.
Could you share some insight into challenges you face while establishing and growing your business?
I would say the contractors. A lot of times, sometimes it's the contractors. When you're working with people, and sometimes you're trying not to pay that super high price, and you're trying to hurry up and get it done, but you wish you would have just paid the whole price in the beginning. Yeah, stuff like that, I think, is a little challenging. That's how I learned how to paint, spackle, and do a lot of things myself right now.
That part.
Yeah.
Listen, when you can't get somebody else to do it, listen, I'll learn really quick, fast, in a hurry. I'll be like, let me go on YouTubeology. We're gonna figure this out.
We're gonna figure it out, right? Yeah. So, and you also said while establishing and growing the businesses. Gosh, I don't know. I really don't know. I think I don't know. I'm kind of reaching. I don't know.
I mean, if it's okay because that just
because I think challenges don't mean challenge to me in that way. You know what I mean? Challenges. I love when I start something and all the challenges come in the beginning. I'm like, yes, let's go, get it out the way, so I can hurry up and learn.
That part.
Get this out the way because I know it's just not gonna last. I'm gonna still push through it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like mostly challenges for me. I grow from the challenges so much that I can't even say nothing negative about the challenge because I have to say I appreciate the challenge because that's where I gain most of my wisdom from. All of the challenges.
Wow, I love that. Could you take it as a learning lesson? You don't take it like some people move in fear because they don't want to come across those. Human beings innately, a lot of us are afraid to fall. We don't want to fall. We don't because we're afraid. We don't know, what's going to be at the end of that tunnel. We don't know what's going to happen when we do fall. But I like how you switch the trajectory of that. Like, you know, what can I learn from this? Let's get it out the way, especially if they come in the beginning.
Whew, that's the best time. It's the best time, and that makes you the strongest, especially when it comes to the beginning, because all that is just life. Everything is frequency. Everything is energy supporting you, whether you can see it with your own eyes or not. So if it appears to be a challenge, it's most likely something you just didn't know how to do. Or you're not listening to your first self telling you to do something else and you're still trying to do it that way. As I explained in the Contractors, I know better. Call somebody out the phone book, pay that price, because you're still going to pay the price again anyway. So, when we go against ourselves, but for the most part, that's it.
I love that. I love that. It's like you make life easier for yourself. It's like like you change the way you think. So then that way, it's only a challenge if you think it is. They said whether you can or you can, then that's your reality.
Yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you. And thinking about failing, why would that even be in your recipe? It's like you're not gonna put, the sea salt, some thyme, some rosemary, and then go throw some eggs in it. My bad. But you're not gonna just go throw something crazy in there like that. It wasn't I put it in the recipe for me to throw them eggs in there to know that I'm not gonna eat it or know that I'm gonna throw the whole pot away. You don't set your recipe like that. You set your recipe for success, and do what you are able to do. Do what's real to you. Do what's inside of you, and it's even easier. Nobody can take away your gifts. Nobody can tell you how to do your gifts. Nobody can stop you. Usually your gifts, you don't even need a company to do your gifts. You do your gifts automatically because that's your birthright, basically, to eat. You know what I'm saying? To get your gold, to eat, to get your money. It's here. It's here. It's wherever it comes from, however it's supposed to be, whatever you're meant to do. It's in your birthright.
Ooh, I felt that. I received that. um Okay, how do you incorporate sustainability and eco-conscious practice into your vegan business?
Yeah. So containers, cups, straws, containers, cups, straws. Pretty much just using stuff that are biodegradable, things that will turn back to whatever it is that they were. Spending that extra few cents on, or sometimes the extra dollar on a certain type of container, just so that way when you're eating your food, you're not consuming plastics and other type of chemicals while you're eating that good, yummy vegan food.
Right.
So it's important that it comes from plants as well, which you're eating with. Yeah.
I love that.
So yeah, by doing that, and in the summertime, mainly in the springtime, we take our compost down to the garden. There's the Urban League has a garden, maybe a block away from where we are. So we take the banana peels and all the, stems and whatever to the garden. So yeah, those are a lot of our practices.
And put it right back into the earth.
Right back to the earth.
Do you want to adopt me?
Yes. Yes. All that marketing you do, yes. I will feed you
Oh
and you
my God,
market.
yes, yes, we are coming. Me and my child. I'm like, oh, this is so special. It's just, I'm getting fed. My soul is getting fed right now. Oh my God.
Yay.
We got some comments coming in. Hold on, they are coming in. They listen. They are loving you. Let's see. Shakira said yes. Remember, they taught us about the different bottled waters, and they was testing them in front of us. I love those workshops.
Yeah, she's talking about gosh, I don't even know that was maybe about 2014. We would do these workshops and we would have the people come out and bring all the bottled waters across the board and then test their pHs
Wow.
and see what people have. And then we have people bring their favorite bottled water so they can see, like, what the pH of the water was or what you were drinking. If you're drinking acidic water, yeah, showing how to, talking about the plastics and stuff like that.
Oh wow. Oh wow. And she said,
So that was another reason. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. That was another reason.
Why Aquafit is important, because we brought the glass and the stainless steel and use natural elements to put your water in.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
She said, no, adopt me first. She got to adopt me first.
Because she already adopted.
Vanessa said, what was the pH? She said what the pH was.
Of which one?
Of which one, Vanessa? We'll be waiting for that. In the meantime, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs looking to start their own vegan businesses?
Well, I would first say try to at least be plant-based. That way you have a true connection. I've seen a lot of people start those, and because they weren't in that lifestyle, it didn't work out for them. Yeah, you have to understand the food, you have to understand what you're feeding people. And I think that you have to embody that for yourself. Yeah. I can't say that because there's a very successful woman that's not vegan that has a lot of successful restaurants, all around the world. I'm not going to say all around the world, but in Atlanta and I think New York. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
can't say that, but, you know, I just seen in my experience, I've seen people start those type of things that weren't vegan and it didn't really work out for them because it's a lot of work, so make sure, you're into that type of prep, and, just, and if somebody wants to start that type of business or looking to start their own entrepreneur, you said start their own business or just in the vegan business, any of them, any of the above, just make sure that it's a passion for you. Make sure it's something that you love to do because the love to do in any entrepreneurship is a spirit. It's not something that you can just wake up and do. You have to be able to hustle. You have to be able to grind it out. You have to go. It's just so many things that you have to do when you're an entrepreneur that makes you able to keep going and that even allows you to grow and to actually make money while you're doing it. A lot of times people are entrepreneurs, they may not be really making the money. They just cutting or getting by or whatever, but you should be making money when you're using your gifts and when you're passionate about something. So make sure that it's real to you with whatever business that you start to do. And for the vegan business, it's not easy because keeping up with fresh, I won't say it's not easy, but keeping up with fresh produce, fresh stuff, you'll never get anything from us from last night. It just never happened. Or yesterday. It's done before the day is out. Give thanks for that. So yeah, you just make sure that it's something that's passionate and real to you.
right.
Yeah, and starting
And
a
because
business.
you're doing it the right way, that's why it's a success. And the food is so good. I gotta come back and get. I'm gonna bring my son.
Thank
I think
you.
he's gonna really enjoy that. How do you stay innovative and keep up with the evolving trends in the vegan industry?
That's funny. Well, we're definitely a forerunner of the vegan industry, especially in this area. So we just continue to just be us and be natural. That's why we want to employ your marketing services because we're out here ground zero. You know what I mean? We don't have time to post a lot. Even the people that work behind the scenes may not even have enough time to post a lot. So, you know, when you're actually working in ground zero and you're mentally involved and you're physically involved, you don't have time for social media. So when we're on a leading, what we're doing, we just do as inspired of what we do naturally, and the recipes and different things constantly like always come up. It's just like a daily freestyle of something new. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
I love that. I love that.
Hmm.
I seen my friend Kirk. He had his own meal. I had to call my friend Nimi. I said, Nimi, Kirk face is up here on the menu, and we were just dying laughing. I said, Kirk face is up here on the menu. He had a meal named after him. I can't believe it. So it's nice that you incorporating people in the community as well. Uh,
Yeah, on the menu. Yeah. Hmm.
Can you share any memorable success stories or moments from your journey as a vegan entrepreneur?
Woo, lots of those. I would say Blueberry's grand opening day, right? It was just supposed to be a soft launch because we were going to open in April. So on New Year's Day, I think we just woke up and we were like, we're going to open. You know, my partner Janice, we had discussed doing this. When I met him, I told him I wanted to do this cafe and I would love for him to come aboard. He said yes. He gave where he was working a whole year that he was leaving in a year.
Wow.
And to the day of the year, literally, we opened like, I think 2 days. I think he stopped December 30th and we opened January 1st. But it was supposed to just be a soft launch so we could see how to do the cafe thing, like how we was gonna run it.
Right.
And we woke up New Year's Day. I remember we all was like, let's just do it. So we came, we opened. We didn't even have, I mean, literally, it was amazing. We were never able to close. We were just gonna do it that day, close, finish doing what we were doing, open up in April. We was never able to do it. It just took off. Like a skyrocket. It was just like, oh man, it was so amazing how it just took off. So we actually had our main grand opening in April. But yeah, so that was a really, really amazing story. Um, I guess when I did hair for so long, just seeing people's hair grow, and the community that I met and the friends that I still have to this day, um, you know, I just, I'm speechless when it comes to that because it's so many success stories. Having my children work with me,
Mm,
having my daughter, again, she's 30. She never worked anywhere outside of the family business.
wow.
My sons work for the company. I work with my husband. I mean, it's just amazing. Me and Janice, like we have this. I don't even know what to call it, but it's like an intuitive work relationship where he does everything that he does and I do everything that I do, and then there's just like a healthy balance between the two. We don't even have to see each other for a whole week or maybe 2 weeks sometimes or whenever, but it's just that healthy balance of just being true to what we do. So I feel like all of those are success to my staff, the people that get up every day and grind and king going above and beyond, the call of duty all the time, and having my stepson work with us. And is he my stepson or is he my what is it when you get married and you have I just got married. Is a stepson? Okay. So yeah, so he's my stepson. And yeah, so just having the family around and seeing the kids and they're young, and I really live for that. I do it for that. So I feel like, when everybody else is good, I feel like that's when I feel successful.
And I love that. And it seems like, from the atmosphere that I was in, that the people that were working there, they enjoyed it. It's
Yeah.
a good atmosphere. It's like, when you make a space that's, comfortable for people to be around, it's easy to be there. It won't feel like you have to work.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. And then the amazing customers, clients, it's just amazing, and I don't think I could have, if it all ended today, I would still be just as satisfied, because of so many wonderful things that have happened. Hmm.
What role do you believe veganism plays in promoting a healthier lifestyle and a more sustainable future?
What role does veganism play? And, I tell people very similar to what you and your son do. I would tell people just maybe take one day and just do like a no chew Wednesday. Like just
Yeah.
give your organs a break from it. You know what I mean? Just take a day, take 2 days a week, and just try to let the carcass go. Just try to let the animal just go from your body. Give your body time to finish to digest what's already still in there
Right.
digesting. Study, learn about what the chemistry of your body is happening. People say alkaline, and they look at it as a fruit or a vegetable. When I think alkaline, I think about what's going on in my body that makes things become alkaline, or how the alkalinity in my body is balancing itself out. I don't look at it as a piece of fruit or a vegetable. You know what I mean? So learning and understanding the things that we weren't taught in school, like chemistry, body chemistry, learn your biology, about what's happening when you put this apple in your body. How is it converting? Where does it go? Where does it go first? My lower intestines, then it goes up. How does the skin get out?
Right.
Your body's this wonderful chemical factory. So I would say veganism, I just would promote it as a way for you to learn about your body, a way for you to grow within your body, because your body and your mind and your soul, people tell you that it's separated. Oh, my soul is outside of this, or my body is outside of that. But we can't treat our body as a secondary, like, oh, I'm spirit living in this body. Okay, but even if that's the case, take care of that body,
Right.
and if veganism will connect you to eating more live food from nature, if veganism is going to lead you to the proper antioxidants and the minerals that your body need, then that in that way I'll promote veganism to people. Not so much to say you shouldn't eat meat when I really don't think you should, but that's not up to me to say. Everybody's on their own path. But I would promote it in that way. Make sure you're getting your minerals. Make sure you're educating yourself, because once you know, you're responsible for what you know, right? So
Right.
if you know what meat looks like chemically going through your body, it might make you think about it. You know what I mean? It might make you say, you know what? See how long it takes to get out of your body, so learn, grow. So I would promote veganism in that way. And sustainably for the future is all about the animals.
Yeah,
It's really about the animals. It's about the trees. They cutting down the trees. You could just
that
use
part.
bamboo. You could use so many other skins and banana leaf and so many other things you can use to create clothing, and mango skin, and you can create leather-like clothing, vegan things out of plants and stuff that grow where you don't have to cut down the trees.
Mm,
So yeah, so the lifestyle of the future and the sustainability of the future, the generations that are coming are very much connected to it. So they're going to have more opportunity. And what we do right now is going to shape the future in a sustainable way. It's up to us right now to create what's next. So we know, and you're having platforms like this, and we're up here having these type of conversations. Hopefully it touches somebody in here soul and heart, and maybe they'll go get some eco-friendly garbage bags or some cups, and now go throw out all the plastic in your house. Get glass, get copper, get stainless steel. Treat yourself like the gods that you are.
mm,
Feed yourself foods that the god should eat. I don't think a god would eat death. I don't think, I mean, I can't say, I shouldn't say these things like that, but I don't think that human wise, our physical body, because if we were meant to eat meat, we would just be able to walk up to that cow and just devour it right then and there.
right.
No, you got to kill it, cut it, skin it, ship it, bake it,
Isn't
fry
it?
it.
Yeah,
That's not natural.
that's not
You're going to wait a long time to eat. Yeah. So, but if I could pick an apple off the tree, or I could pick some kale out the ground, or I could pick some herbs, or peel an orange with my nails, or, whatever my mouth can, consume, that's for me. And that's how I knew from a child what was really real is what's in my habitat. So that was always a natural instinct for me to know, like, it's no way that that meat is for us to eat when you have to do so much to it just to consume, just to get it on your plate.
mm,
So that's not, to me, I don't think nature would do that to me, because that means me and my family, if we didn't have all this stuff, that means we'd be starving out here, hunting, shooting, killing, waiting to break it down. I don't think that would be mean for nature to do us like that. Everything that we need grows very low hanging fruit at any time. You got patches of pumpkins right now. You got all types of squash, winter, everything that you need for the season grows in that season. You know what I mean? Eat the seasonal food, eat the seasonal foods that have those colors, certain colors to them, but learn. So that's in a way that I would promote veganism, and that's how I would promote people to be more sustainable. And it's up to us right now what we do for the future.
I love that. I love that. And like you said, like if we were supposed to eat those animals, we'll be eating it, walk up to it and just start devouring it.
Snatch that pigeon right out the sky. Like, yeah.
Like we
But if
wouldn't
you
go
had to do
right. We take it through its trauma. We're cutting it, like seasoning it, baking
yeah.
it. It's just like so much we have to do. And like you said, it's like from the time it's killed to the time that it gets placed in those factories to the time it makes its way to the grocery store, so it makes its way to us. Like, I don't really think we took the time to think about that. I think because we grew up in this, that was just natural for us to do.
Yeah.
That was a natural way. Let me go to the grocery store. And like the last time I just went to the grocery store, my son and I, all we bought were like fruits and vegetables. I bought so many different types of mushroom. I bought many different. I bought a lot of portobello mushrooms are one of my favorites mushrooms when I did go vegan prior, but I'm learning about so many other mushrooms. Because one of my good friends, she's vegan as well. So when she comes to my house, I always have to create something for her, make something from scratch for her. I'll make her sweet potato waffles, like make everything from scratch, and she just loves it. So I'm like, you know what? From her being in my life, it has helped me to, move in that direction as well. She's been an influence for me as well. And then when I told her, I said, "Girl, I'm taking you to Plants and Poets. We're gonna go somewhere when we go." So she lives in Maryland area now. She's from where I live currently, but she has a shop here called Bohemian Noir, and she travels back and forth. So I told her I'm going to take her to one of your spots. So we're probably going to just hop in each space.
On a Saturday.
Yes. Yes, I pray that people take that into account, because I mean, like, now I'm starting to, and now when I look at meat, it's different when I look at it now. Before, I just wanted to go vegan just to go vegan, and I didn't really have any means. This was years ago, but now, like, every time I turn around, like, even in the algorithm, like, things are just like coming to me in that state. Everybody's coming up across my timeline, and I'm like, this is the direction that I'm supposed to go. This is what God is telling me I should do. This is the walk I should walk in right now. So,
right. Yeah. Because you are the algorithm. You are the algorithm, and when you set yourself to something, you're just going to attract it all to you. So that's what I was saying earlier. That book's going to show up. That person going to show up. That post going to show up. Is all here for you, connected to all of it, and that's why it's important to stay connected to the live foods. So because you're electric, so you have to stay connected to the electricity. You can't eat. How can you have you can't just have DC without the AC. You're not going to have the current running. You know what I mean? So you definitely have to stay connected. So that's really dope, and it's good to hear that you cook too.
Yeah, I love cooking. It's just like, now I'm gonna have to go in my closet after this show and throw away the rest of the stuff. And yes, and get very creative. Like, I've been buying. It's a lady that's in my town. She makes pasta from scratch. So I buy all my pastas from her. I want to actually get into the space of learning how to make my own pasta. So I'm making bread from scratch. I want to do all of it, because I'm looking at everything. I'm like, all this stuff has chemicals in it. We really have to get to a space where we are producing our own, like, fruits and vegetables, and I'm just getting back to, like, making things from scratch, because, like, you see the kids getting sick, and it's like, where are they getting sick from? Why are they getting sick? What are they ingesting? So
yeah, they need more. They need more defense. They need those antioxidants in them. So we're going to be doing some series of cooking classes starting on the 21st. The second one is going to be pasta. I want to make do some ravioli dishes from scratch using the ancient grain flours. Yeah, so we're definitely going to be doing some wonderful things like that.
I definitely got to be there. I can't wait, because I'm trying to make fun. I'm supposed to be taking my son out the state for his birthday. So I'm very excited about that. We're going on a little trip together. It's going to be a surprise for his birthday next month. So gotta look at my calendar, but I definitely want to make it, because I was looking at it. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So it gives me time to visit my family and to do something at the same time for my future.
Yeah, that's cool. My cousin said she grew up with you, Elise Fox. Yeah,
Elise. Hi, Elise. Oh my gosh. Girl, I haven't seen her in so long.
Yeah, she's supposed to be in here.
Hey, Elisa, be in here. Hi, boo. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she was like, yeah.
Okay, so I can see y'all coming from the same family. She just, oh my god.
Yeah.
Lee's like, we even call each other family. That's my girl.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said y'all grew up like cousins.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh man. I hope to see you at the reunion this year, girl. So we got 2 more questions.
Okay.
How do you engage with your community and promote the benefit of veganism beyond your business?
So we do We do workshops. We do 100 free smoothie day, maybe
Oh, nice.
spring and summer. What else do we do? We mainly been doing workshops. I think workshops engage the community. We used to do coat drives. We haven't done a coat drive since 2020 because there was some stipulations like in 2021. So we didn't tap back into that yet. But
Right.
coat drives, 100 free smoothie day. There's a dope brother, 360 books, DTR books. He usually comes maybe once a year, and he buys a bunch of food, and then we match the food that he buys, and he stands outside with the books and he gives out the meals or to whoever's the first customers that's coming in. I guess engaging the community, stuff like that. I definitely want to get back to doing a little bit more engaging the community. We did some open mics, but we need to do more. So that's why with your, again, I'm selling your marketing services. With your marketing services, you get some more things flowing and going. Yeah. But we're here for the community, but whatever. We used to do this thing called Blueberry After Dark, where we would do, whoever was doing something in the city, we would have you come in as our guest chef. So we would we would cook in front of the people, and then we created the table, a long table where everybody would sit down and we would ask questions, and then we would just have all these types of conversations.
Nice.
Yeah, called Blueberry After Dark. Yeah, so I also do conscious speak offs. I almost forgot about that. I just started a series of conscious speak offs called Each One Teach One. So I get small groups, book some, with some really dope people. I did one with Activated Studios. I did one at the Source of Knowledge bookstore. The next one coming up is at Plantiva. And it's just a group of conscious people coming together and hope that we can connect and then build this railroad,
Right.
where instead of dealing with all the problems of the community and the culture, that we build a railroad where they have it all set up in a line for them. So I'm looking for those type of people. So I set up these conscious speak-offs and hopefully to connect and build the next links to the railroad. So that way we can set up something amazing. So that way when we talk to the people, we talking about a conscious community, we have something to give you. We have something to offer you.
Mm,
When people want to really make that change.
right. And it's a community. You guys have
Yeah.
that community, and you're asking people to come and be a part of that community.
Hmm.
I
Yep, and just the conversations of life, having these type of conversations, creating spaces for people to just talk and freely express, because each one of us have something to teach one of us, whether you think or not. You never know how source shows up in your life or how God shows up in your life. A lot of times, in that conscious community, I may not be taken a certain way because when people first see me, because yeah, I blow my hair out, but at the same time, if I wetted it, turn into an afro.
Right.
But I do that because it's my hair, and at the same time, you never know what God looks like. You never know whose face God's going to show up to you. And a lot of times, people miss their blessings because they didn't see God in a person because they were too busy looking for the head wrap or looking for the sage or looking for the incense or looking for the thing when it's about frequency. You know what I'm saying? So when it's God, you don't know what it's going to look like. So being able to connect to source and connect to God through someone, it's not about the way someone's hair is. Because I'll be like, oh my gosh, should I wrap my hair? Oh, should I wear my afro? Should I just wet it? Should I just? And my husband's like, no, just be yourself. Just be
That part.
you. I mean, which I am, but it's like, you get looked at a certain way. You know, when your when your hair is blown out or straight or
And
whatever.
mind you, is people out here with their hair that is an afro or what have you, and they're not eating right or they're polluting their body. So what is that? Oh, because you look at the fact that I straighten my hair
Yeah.
or I'm not looking up to, or I don't wrap my hair up, then that I'm not good enough, what have you. So it's
Yeah.
just like, check the frequency. People,
Right.
you could tell people by their fruits, like check
Ex-
how right or not
Exactly.
they
Yes,
are. So
exactly.
um
Yeah. And
I
a
dig
lot of
it.
people, what you say?
I said no, I dig it.
Yeah, a lot of I see a lot of people, they call themselves the goddess this or the goddess that or the king this and the king that. And when you know them in real life, they have low self esteem, they have all of that. So that's something that I could never do or be, wear a certain costume just to try to portray or to get a point across. No, I'm going to be myself and let my light shine, over whether my hair is straight or whatever the case may be.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that part,
Mhm.
and shout out to Dr. Umar who was in our town last
Oh,
night.
yeah.
He has a big thing talk about the hair, but I'll talk to him
Mhm.
about that on my show. When I have him on there, I'll have my questions ready for the brother. But last night, one thing that did sit well with me when people were asking him certain questions, he asked them, "But what are you doing?" They were asking him about him. He said, "Don't worry about me. Focus on what you're doing."
Mm.
So they were asking him questions. So in my take, if they look at you for your hair, they need to focus on what they're doing. What are you doing? And
Right.
do you have any franchises open? Are you doing anything to
Yeah.
the community? Your name is God this, a God that, or conscious minded this, or conscious minded that. But what are you doing? Are you
What are you
are
asking
you
for
self
me to do?
indulged? What are you
Right.
acting on in this matrix?
Right. Yep. This is true. This is
Uh,
this is very true.
so we have one last and final question, Queen.
Okay.
I don't want this to be over. And obviously we can't eat. They don't want it either because it's still people. Look, the numbers are still up there. What
Oh, yay.
what are your future plans and goals for expanding your vegan empire, if there are any?
Okay. So, all right. So you heard this here first. So, January 27th. So let me just tell you a little story first. So when we opened Blueberry Cafe, we didn't just open up a cafe. We opened up a cafe along following the Dr. Sabi list guideline. And how I first heard of Dr. Sabi is my cousin's husband had got sick, and one of my clients, who is my dear friend now, Kiki, she said, "Hey, maybe you should look into this guy, Dr. Sabi." And when I looked into him, I never turned back. Um, so when we opened up the cafe, by the time we opened up the cafe, we were already eating, of that echelon, along those lines. So not only did we open Blueberry Cafe as a vegan cafe, but we opened it up using the Dr. Sabi guideline. Where they do that at? So inspired by Dr. Sabi. So on January 27th, Dr. Sabi's son has a store right next door to right inside of Aquafit,
Nice.
where we had the gym and the water bar. We moved the water bar and the gym to the back, and now he's opening up a health food store right next to Blueberry Cafe. Now, when we talked about earlier, when I said I observed life and I see my whole life line up, how greater of an alignment is that? Like his whole
That
entire son,
is
who
amazing.
looks just like him, is next door selling the, like, I'm telling
Ah,
you. Yeah,
that
so I'm proud to announce that that's coming soon. He's going to be doing consultations, and I will say that his herbs are different. Like he's given me some female balance herbs and different things like that, and they're really different. His botana oil, my son used it for the hair, and it's just coming. So he needs not much of an introduction. So Victor Bowman, he's going to be opening up. A health food store right next door to Blueberry Cafe. It's a keeper.
wow.
Yeah, so that is coming up, and that's just straight alignment. That's
Definitely.
yeah. So that's coming up. The podcast is new, and for my platform on the podcast, it's about spirituality for me because again, my whole life has just been a spiritual journey. I don't know life any other way other than that way. So I just look for the souls that could come up and speak. Dr. Umar, I met Dr. Umar at the Source of Knowledge bookstore, and I really wanted to have a conversation with the brother. I think Dr. Umar is really dope. I can't say that I align with his whole entire message, because I am, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, he brings the solution," but I just beg to differ a little bit in that area. Great man, great purpose. I respect the fact that it's a brother up there just like kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not
That part.
afraid to get out there,
Right.
be his whole self. You know what I'm saying? And that is important, especially when it's in his spirit, it's in his alignment. It comes very natural to him. Some of the points I think for me, again, being an observer of life, and I think I've been here long enough to be able to say something. I think I had enough experience here to be able to say something, whether my voice is the loudest or if I have a million followers or if I have 10 followers. You know what I mean? It doesn't equate the substance of what I know and where I am. And right now, what the world needs and what the community needs is solution, not what's happening. We don't care about celebrity drama. We don't care about who Rihanna's doing this or this person's doing that. We don't care about that. We don't have time for part two. Part one is happening now. We are live, living in culture. Like right now, what do we do next? What's happening in these communities? Who's doing stuff in these communities? Who's really out here doing stuff? And those things are important to me. Feed the people the solution, period. What happened, who did what. I think racism and a lot of things, and a lot of people may beg to differ with me, but I believe a lot. I know that it's a program. I can't even say I believe. I know it's a program, and I know it's still oppression and suppression, even if somebody that looks like us is saying it, period. Like, I mean, and that's just the way I feel. So, I got a lot of backlash for that interview because people have their following, and people, maybe they're not ready for change. And when you shake somebody up, and again, when your hair's straight and I don't have to wrap my hair up and I don't smell like patchouli, just because that, but you don't know how I connected to source before I got to you. You know what I mean? And it's between me and source on how I connect, so, but I just feel like, a lot of the messages that a lot of the conscious community and the leaders are out there talking about, I really, 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 I don't align with a lot of them. A lot of that stuff sounds like the 90s to me. This was the stuff that we were talking back in the day, right? And when I see Instagram and I see all the knowledge and a lot of the ancient information, a lot of that stuff for me is the 90s. I give thanks for the internet that is being pushed out here, but back then I was the weird one talking like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I know where life is right now, and it's about getting to the leading edge, and it's about really coming together economically so that way the next generation is taken care of, period. And it's up to us, right? And it's always going to be up to us. We have to take accountability right now in our journey. Like what you're doing right now is powerful because you're letting conversation happen. You're letting new thought come through, and we have to be able to do that. And we have to teach thought mobility. People are crippling their thoughts because they're waiting for answers from all these different people. And the answers for you are only inside of you. There's nowhere else to get them from. You connect and you vibrate with people, and you connect and align frequencies, and you build your building blocks like that. But what messages are for you are inside of you. I'm a firm believer. You have to learn to observe yourself, observe the life that's around you, see the colors, look up at the sky, and really connect to life, and stop listening to a lot of unnecessary stuff that's not going to get you nowhere whatsoever. So I just believe that what we need right now for a culture is solution. No more talking about the problem. Anytime you bring up the problem, that's a part of the problem that doesn't go with the equation. It should not be in that recipe. The recipe of whatever your outcome, what you want it to be, the recipe has to be clear. You have to know what ingredients you want to put in this recipe, and it's going to happen for you. Trust me.
I agree. I agree. And you brought that up on your interview as well, like about talking about the solution. And a lot of times, like, we are stuck in this trap. And it's sad because, what we have social media. Like, that's why I tell people, don't follow anything that doesn't align in your purpose. You're sitting here watching the Love and Hip Hops, what they're taking in up here, what they're taking in here, anything that you're taking in subconsciously or digesting, it's affecting us. That's why I was a wine drinker. I decided to put the drinks down last year because now my cognitive skills are being messed with. At some point now, I'm watching my body and how I'm 38 on Friday. So it's like I'm seeing how how it's messing with my cognitive skills. And I'm saying, like, hey, I need to take this away from my life, and when I started taking that away, because I was trying to write a song, for some reason, I just felt motivated to write. And I couldn't even bridge the pieces of that song together, a sentence. And it made me so mad. I stayed up trying to say the same thing over and over till 2:00 in the morning. I went to sleep. I woke up early in the morning because I'm the type of person that don't give up. I was like, I need my sleep. Let me wake up. I did it, got the words out, but I was so upset with myself that I was like, I need to change my habits. And the reason why I even started drinking was because of depression, because of a divorce and things of that nature. Somebody brought me a drink, and after that, I was like, okay, I can start drinking. I wasn't drinking for years prior to that. So it's like now changing my circle of friends, changing what I'm putting in my body, changing what I choose to view on the internet, or how long I be on the internet, and what I'm using the internet for, what I'm watching on TV, how long my son gets to watch TV, and what he's watching on TV, and if I'm watching those things alongside with him, so I can know what's going on in his reality. So it's like, we as people, I know it's hard for some people because they're programmed, and I believe that is at some point, maybe you need to just, people need to learn how to be with themselves, be in silence, turn everything off, let those thoughts roam, let them fester, let them leave your body, and then get back to a space, a meditative space, where now you can connect the source. Okay, what do you need to do? Because he told me I need to stop eating meat. He's putting those things, like you said, I am the algorithm. He's putting these people, places, and things, but are you going to listen? Are you going to listen and make your life better by following through with what source is trying to tell you?
Right. Disciplining yourself. But you said the magic word, right? You said the magic word earlier, and that word, if somebody applies that to every single area of their life, you could literally eliminate trauma. Digestion, right? You said digestion. You have to digest everything, whether it's a situation you went through. You have to take a moment and you have to process that information. You have to process every feeling, process every emotion, and then, as you would, poop it out. But allow it to fully digest, because if you don't digest it, it's still sitting somewhere. That's what
Mm,
causes cancer.
mm,
Energetically, mentally, physically, that's what happens. The body is going to store it, and the skin is still energy, so it's going to store it up. So you have to digest your problems, you have to digest your happies, you have to digest your sads, you have to digest everything. You have to process it all the way through, all the way out, because anything else is going to be in between, and it's going to get you sick. It was going to get you, it's going to keep you stuck. You're not going to be able to move or go anywhere.
mm.
So that is one of the most powerful things to even keep your body healthy, to even keep your pH regulated. You have to have good enzymes. You have to digest. So when people still keep preaching about trauma and everybody's stuck in trauma, tell me how to get out the trauma. Tell the people how to really get through the trauma. Or do we just need to keep following people that say that you're in trauma? No, it doesn't happen. It's not a natural feeling. It's not a natural emotion from God. It doesn't come from source. It's
That,
not real. That's why it makes you feel at a dis-ease, whether you feel it through depression, whether you feel it in your body, whether you're sick, whether whatever the case may be. It's simply because you're not digested. If something makes you sad, live with the sadness for a little. Just live with it for a little minute,
mm,
because that way it gives you the focus of it to now to get rid of it. It's
mm,
not meant for you to take and grab drinks and drugs and to try to
make
suppress it,
it
because
worse.
you're still not
Mm,
digesting it. It's still not going away. Now you're
right,
adding chemicals. You know what I
right.
mean? So with all of that, digestion, if people apply that to their mind, body, soul, to everything you've ever been through, whether it was when you were a little girl or now, whatever it is, the childhood trauma, the
Yeah.
monster is only there because you did not flush them out. You did not poop it out. It's still there. You have the power to poop it out. You have the power to get rid of it. You know what
Mm,
I mean? So digestion is key to everything in your entire existence. That's why we have the ability to do it. You go to sleep, you rise, it's a new day.
yes.
If you're carrying and you wake up that next day and you can't even smile, you're not digested. So
Mm,
think about that every day, if that's how one feels when they wake up. But
mm,
digestion is the key. That's the magic word. That's the secret recipe. You know what I mean? That our people need to know that you can digest it. Just because something traumatized you as a child, things can be bad. We never even tapped on that type of story, because I don't, it's no need for me to share that story, because I don't have
exactly.
to go dig somewhere and find it, pull the emotion, you know what I'm saying, to
Nostalgic.
get to it when I've already digested it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I don't need that story to sell tickets. I don't need that story to sell vegan meals. You know what I mean?
Right.
The only story I need to sell you is the inspiration solution through myself, through my own real life existence, you know.
You better speak, Queen. You better. I'm telling you, you better speak. You better speak to my people. I just feel like crying. I just
Aww.
needed this. Like, I really
Aww.
needed this. I really needed
Aww. Mm.
this. Is so confirming. Like, it's just so good. It's a good feeling. My son see me crying in the house sometimes. I'm like, these are tears of joy.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
cry and be happy. Like, crying
Yeah.
is not a bad emotion. I've learned to just just to
Yeah.
be released. And sometimes these things need to be released. I looked myself in the mirror some months ago and I was looking at myself and I seen a part of myself I didn't like. And I had to tap into that person I didn't like, why I didn't like that. And I realized the person that made me feel like I didn't like that part about myself. And I reached out to them. And it wasn't to make them feel bad. It was a releasing. And though that person was dismissive, it was okay because it wasn't up for them to save me. It was up for me to do the inner and outer work for myself. So I just healed. I was just healing and I was able to express that because I was always what kids are told to do in the Black community. Keep your mouth closed, shut up, don't say anything, stay in a child's place. No, my son has a voice. My son can speak in this household. He's going to express himself to me so we can tap and get to the solution as to why you feel that way. We was in the car today. He said, Mom, I'm feeling sad. I said, what are you feeling sad for? He said, I don't know. So I was like, you don't know? And I think it's because he is like, leaving me and that he has to go to his dad's and the separation thing, anxieties and stuff like that. But at the same time, he has people in his life that love him and I just pray that in time, even having him in spaces. He saw Dr. Umar 2 times. Like one thing I do appreciate about the brother is that he talks about building establishments in our communities and stuff. That's what it's about. Educating our children. They need to see more of our faces and things of that nature. I understand that aspect of it or what have you. But no matter where you are or who you are or where you may be, you just learn to be true to yourself. You teach your children in the ways they should walk or what have you. I'm not gonna I understand the walk, but wherever I'm gonna be, that's who I'm. They're gonna know who I am, and that's who I'm gonna be. I don't. Just regardless, and we can create wherever we are. So. So that's what I'm doing right now in the community and bridging some gaps and creating a space for peace and letting people know that, like we've always been we've always been peaceful people. You know what I'm saying? We are kings and queens. We come from royal place and showing people that, like letting my light shine wherever I am, whoever I'm around. So it's just, and we have to make names. We have to make names for ourselves. We can't sit here and keep complaining about what happened to Joe Schmo so many years ago. What are we going to do to make things better? We can be like mine, standing up, being a part of peaceful protests and standing up for people's rights, but I'm not here to fight. I'm here to create.
Right. And in this life, a lot of of us are like, what is my purpose? What am I here to do? What is it? What is it? I believe that one of the highest things that you can do is make your name known. Your name becomes immortal. That's what makes your immortality. Even if your physical body's not here, your name is living on. That's like tremendous. Like that's probably one of the greatest accomplishments that one can give. Look at Michael Jackson. Even the little kids know who Michael Jackson is because he's immortalized himself. That's what makes you immortal. And what do you want your legend to sound like? What do you want your name to ring bells about? Should your name still inspire no matter what is said about it? When they hear your name, when they say La, it's like, oh yes, she, you know what I mean? So that's what we could think about when we're thinking about ourselves. And with that type of focus, this is where the traumas begin to go away, because now you have something new to fill your life up with, is with your new focus about yourself and what name do you want to ring on. If you leave the space and you have no name, Like you have no legacy, no purpose. Like what happened? Like what was the point of your existence? You got to ring some bells. You got to step up into your purpose, no matter how it may seem. Like what? How I'm gonna start this? Just begin, and everything gonna line up. Like you said,
It
we are the algorithm. Even before there was a social media, the algorithm was real. The books would just land right in my lap, or
does.
whatever I needed. It just the person showed up, even if I was in trouble. You know what I
Right.
mean? The people who were a part of, I guess, scolding me, still somehow it became a beautiful relationship with something
Right.
profitable or prosperous came out of it.
Right.
So there really is no wrong. It's only when we take ourselves away from the right. You know what I mean? So when we say the path is always lit, it never changes.
No.
Source, God, it doesn't waver like that. Only you get off the path, but it's always just waiting for you to just hop right back on. You know
Mm,
what I mean? So yeah, so you got it. And your son, by him expressing his emotions, the communication, the conversations is what set us free. It's through conversations that you build a relationship. When you get your husband, you're gonna find out that you guys ended up getting married through your conversations. It was the conversations that you had that built who you are, along with the experiences. But it's the real deep communication, getting to really know each other through conversations. That's what makes it, that's what's going to give us all of our power back. These type of platforms, like what you're doing right now, is what's going to get us all back. Networking, meeting the right people, and really building those railroad tracks, not just
right.
talking about it, but being about it. Everybody plays a part in this, no matter what you do. I don't care if you work a 9 to 5, you still play a part in
That
this
part.
culture, because we wouldn't be here in this lifetime right now together if we weren't meant to be doing something. The
That
next generations are important because they are the future. How long are we going to deal with these programs that have been plaguing our minds, plaguing the minds all of these years? It has
mm,
to stop. We have to move forward. You know what I
that
mean?
right. Forward thinking. Forward thinking. And I was talking to my friend today, and she plays a lot, and she's like, "Girl, I'm so ghetto. That looks so ghetto." I said, "Stop speaking that in your life. We're gonna keep
Yeah.
it in life." She said, "Yeah, you right." I was like, "Yeah, because that's not who you are. Don't say that. Like, don't say
Right.
that. You're a queen, like
Yeah.
empress. Like, you don't. No, you're not ghetto. You know."
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
just. I'm like, you keep speaking that, you're gonna be walking around like, oh,
Yeah.
like you're really gonna become what you say you are. Like, you want to be,
Yeah.
ghetto. You're
Hmm.
a very talented young woman. You have a lot going for yourself, and why would you even think yourself to be anything else other than that? So
Yeah.
it's just like sometimes it comes out naturally. We say certain. We gotta work on fixing our verbiage, and
Yeah.
and and um and now when I'm on the phone with some of my friends, I'm like, "How's your day going?" Hmm, you, I ain't gonna even complain. So they don't even like, they don't even let it, because
Yeah.
like this space and this space over here, this is not what we're gonna do. Like, this is what we're gonna
Hmm.
each other, we're gonna hold each other accountable. We're not gonna even worry about that. That they problems ain't our problems. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes we
Yeah.
find ourselves taking on other people's problems. Like, you gotta let their problems be their problems, because we're
Their problem.
empaths. We're empaths and naturally. So when somebody's feeling, we're gonna feel for them. But it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, you just drop the seeds, and the seeds will grow. That's all.
that
That's all you can really do for another, is really inspire a lot of people. But back to the ghetto part, like, what does that even mean? Like, what is
thing.
ghetto? Like, what does that? What does that? What is that?
Right.
Because I watched something on social media. I saw this. I mean, what people consider ghetto people, right, or
Mhm.
ghetto girls or whatever. When I say they was dropping them gems, they was dropping knowledge, but in a type of street language. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But they knew what they were talking about. So what does ghetto mean? You know what I'm saying? Is it a place? Is it a space? Or is it really a way of being? So
Mhm.
like you said, educating yourself on the verbiage that you use about yourself, even foul language.
Right.
I see a lot of people in the conscious community use foul language, and that disturbs me, because your cells are alive. You're atoms, and each one of those things are alive. And how are you leading me? But you saying FUCK SHIT and all of that. That's not feeding the people. So what you say matters, but people only saying what's coming from their soul. Your
Right.
voice is the voice of the soul. So when you're only saying what's in your soul,
Right.
So ghetto, we have to create a way to glorify
Yeah.
ghetto so that when the people that consider themselves to be in the ghetto, now they rise up and they make a richness out of the ghettos now. Yeah.
They
Hmm.
said, Shino, stay dropping gems. I love it. I respect your knowledge and genuine dedication to the community, Shino.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Who's that? Mary? Thank you, Mary. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much, Queen. I would love to have you on a show again. We're gonna do a live show. We're gonna be face to
Yeah.
face this time because
Okay. Okay.
that's something I'm gonna come get to your neck of the woods. I'm gonna come with my
Yeah.
microphone and we gonna get
Yeah.
we gonna be live
All right.
style. And
Yeah.
I want to leave you this platform to, give people some advice, tell them where they can find you, any information you want to leave, and I'll give it. Here you go.
Okay. Well, just just be true to yourself, and just know that you can be, do, or have anything that you put your heart and mind to. You can find me, Brains, Culture, and Beauty on Instagram. You can also find me between 547 Central Avenue and 505 Clinton Avenue. I'm not really a big social media person like that, but if you want to hit me up there, Plants and Poets what is it? Plants and Poets. We have this at the Zucchini Bar, at Magic Homes, at Aquafit Water Bar. You could find me at any of those places, but I'm right here, local, right on Ground Zero. I'm out here, um, definitely reachable. I just really want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you came here with me and La, and we really appreciate you. And much love to all of you. Peace.
And it's a wrap for another episode of Whatever You Say podcast. I hope you learned something new, enjoyed the conversation, and even had your perspective challenged in any kind of way. If you love what you heard tonight, make sure you chime in every other Wednesday. On the 31st, we're going to have Health is Key on the show as we'll talk about flow and hip hop and fitness. So make sure y'all chime in on the 31st of January. And if you love what you heard tonight, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click on that notification button for updated shows. Once again, I just want to thank Rashina Burrows for coming on today. It's been such a pleasure. It's what I needed. It fed my soul. She's a part of the Whatever You Say podcast family. And make sure you guys check out my new book. It's called The Rest Experience. It is on Amazon. I'll have the link in the bio after tonight. So make sure.
Have you ever wondered what true rest means to you? How do you rest? Embark on a transformative journey towards personal healing and growth with the Rest Experience.
And thanks again, guys, for chiming in. And y'all stay blessed, stay focused, and stay open minded and curious. It's whatever you say.